And so now let's learn about what's inside blood. So there are three major types of cells in blood. Four major parts, three major types of cells, and one liquid. The liquid is the plasma. The plasma is an orange-yellowish liquid on the outside of the cells in the blood. Now, red blood cells. Red blood cells give the color to the blood. So when it's deoxygenated, it's dark red. The red blood cells are dark red, and so the blood is dark red. When the red blood cells are oxygenated, they turn light red, and so the blood is light red. And so, and the job of the red blood cells is to carry oxygen and carbon dioxide to the body, or so the body is ready to pick it up so that those cells can live. And oxygen, what exactly is oxygen and carbon dioxide? Oxygen, take a deep breath. What you were inhaling was oxygen, and what you were exhaling was carbon dioxide. So let me explain in a bit more detail. Oxygen is a sort of gas that you inhale. Then it goes through these alveoli into the blood vessels, so then the deoxygenated blood picks it up in order to be oxygenated blood. And there are even these capillaries, so veins are blue, arteries are red, capillaries are purple because they're mixing. So it's an exchange from deoxygenated to oxygenated and oxygenated to deoxygenated. So it's like, because every time your blood goes through the course, in a kid, it would go in around 20 seconds. For an adult, this concourse would take like 1 minute. But the concourse in kids, it would be 20 seconds. So it's fast. And so carbon dioxide is exhaled. But carbon dioxide, and you won't believe this, trees also breathe. And trees, which you can talk in another episode of making science fun, but it is they breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. So we're helping trees, and trees are helping us. So if we inhale oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, then the trees can breathe the carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen in order for us to breathe in that oxygen, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. And that's not it. We have two more cells to learn about. The white blood cell is a cell from the immune system. Not like T lymphocyte. No, that's like T cell. That's when we talk about the immune system. Right now we're talking about the heart, which is circulatory system. So it's a different system. But white blood cells are from the immune system. Their job is exactly the same as the immune system. And so they look out, they send antibodies which help in destroying germs in a certain method. But we're not really into antibodies, we're into the blood. So the white blood, there are a few million white blood cells. If you didn't know this, there are 250 million red blood cells in a single drop of blood. And when you're sick, there can be 7,000 T lymphocytes in one drop. 7,000 T lymphocytes, not white blood cells, but T lymphocytes. So, yeah. Yeah, and there's also a cool, and now we need to learn about the last thing before we go on to our final question of the video. So, platelets. Platelets are cells that help clot blood. So what does that mean? Clot. What does that mean? Here's an example. So imagine you have a paper cut. Ow! And then you don't see it, but in 5 minutes you feel better. You're like, oh, okay, that feels better. But how does that work? It's the platelet's job to do that. But if the cut is extra big, say you fall down, pew, ow, and then there's something called fibrin. Fibrin is another piece of the blood, and they try to make something. So you have the blood, there's a cut vessel. So a cut blood vessel injures the blood out. Then platelets try to trap in those red blood and white blood cells out, and they try closing the cut blood vessel. And so then the result is a scab. So then the skin grows and grows and grows and grows and grows until you feel better. Now, it's time to move on to our final question. Why are veins blue? Because if deoxygenated blood is dark red, not blue, then why actually are veins blue? The answer is simple. Just looking through the skin layers, they just appear blue. For no reason, they just appear blue. No one actually knows why they're supposed to be blue. I don't know. And maybe those drawings are wrong. Maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe, no one actually knows this. Maybe veins actually are dark red.
Okay, I have a question for you.
What?
Where do you learn all that?
Oh, I know.
Well, can you tell me where?
From a book or something, I think. I don't know.
From books?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think you actually learned it all by yourself.
By yourself?
Yeah, maybe.
But like video games.
I did.
But videos or something.
Yeah, I did because I did a lot of research, which is why I made this channel of Making Science Fun. No, Making Science Easy, Making Science Fun is the name of the channel.
Okay. Bye.
You can check out another channel called Making Math Easy.
Okay.
So, yeah. But I mean, so that was episode 7 of Making Science Fun.